Hey there, and welcome to Strength in Sisterhood, the podcast where faith, friendship, and fierce encouragement come together.
We're here to share stories that will inspire and lift each other up while we grow in faith together.
No matter where you are, we're here to remind you that you are never alone. With God and a little sisterhood, we're stronger together.
So grab a cup of coffee and get ready to be encouraged and empowered.
Hello, and welcome to Strength in Sisterhood. I'm Amy.
And I'm Summer.
And we're really glad that you're here today. How are you doing today, Summer?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm really good today.
Did you have a good week?
Yes, I did. Yeah, last night we went and hung out with the teens. One of the gals from church, she's super hospitable and opened up her home, invited us all over. I was thankful to be invited. It wasn't like a church-sanctioned teen thing. So I was really happy to be invited and spend time with everybody. And we had s'mores around the fire.
Nice.
And played pool and foosball.
That's cool.
It was fun.
I hope that now that they've gone to camp, that they kind of keep that, continue working on that unity.
Yes.
Amongst them.
It was good to get together shortly after. Camp just ended, just a few weeks ago. And so now getting together again. And then we already have something planned for the next month too. So.
Good. That's really good.
Yeah, we had good turnout. Lots of kids. I don't know. It's good. I always like being with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? How was your week?
My week was interesting. It was a full week and some challenges at work.
Sure.
Challenged my patience.
Is your patience? Are you better with patience now today?
Hopefully.
From this week? I feel like you've grown in that area.
And my professionalism.
No.
How can I say this in a professional manner?
Yeah. Right.
No, it was pretty good. I'm thankful for a job, though. And I'm thankful I was thinking about it this week. At the end of this year, it'll mark 18 years.
Yeah, you're pretty loyal. Yeah.
Almost to a fault is what my family says. I'm right on that edge, I think. But no, it was a good week. I'm thankful for a good job. A job that I understand. A job where I can help people, even though it comes to every job, no matter what you do, can come with frustrations. But yeah, it was a pretty good week. It's a pretty good week. Good. Today's been a pretty good day.
It's been a great day today.
It's been a great day. Yeah. I was hoping and praying for a productive Saturday.
I would say we've accomplished that already.
And I feel like having a productive Saturday.
Yeah, good.
So I'm very thankful for that because you and I were talking this week. I have a lot of things going on up here.
Right, ping pong, not ping pong. What's it called?
Pinball machine.
Pinball machine.
Yeah. My brain is like a pinball machine.
Or ping pong.
Yeah, and same. Made me think of that episode. That scene in Forrest Gump. Have you ever seen Forrest Gump?
Have I ever seen Forrest Gump?
I've known people.
Well, I don't know who you're hanging out with, but yes, I have seen Forrest Gump.
Remember he gets really good at ping pong?
Yes.
And he's super fast.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it feels like is in my head. Only it's not just one ball.
Right.
There are multiple.
multiple in there. Oh, I love it. Too funny.
But yeah, I like the sense of being productive and getting things accomplished.
Same.
It's a much better feeling than spending 8 hours on audio issues and walking away with nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today definitely, in our prayer before we started, we had talked before about that discouragement from last week. And you said it in your prayer before we started that we needed that discouragement to now be able to have the reward.
Yeah, to enjoy. Before we hit record, I felt like there was a rejuvenation.
Yes, rejuvenation.
Of excitement about doing the podcast now because it sounds decent.
Yeah.
We get done and we listen back to it and it sounds decent. Even the unedited,
right.
Because we don't do a whole lot of editing. We don't do heavy editing.
No.
The editing that we do is to improve the quality, the sound quality. But if we don't have to do hours upon hours of editing just to get it up to par where it's listenable, then that's encouraging. And yeah, I even had that thought too of we had to go through that, to fully enjoy the accomplishment of being able to experience that rejuvenation. And it made me think of our last week's episode with Joy Comes in the Morning. It's like, man, that's a really good point. Of course you have to endure the night of weeping.
Yeah.
To fully enjoy the joy that comes in the morning.
Well, same thing with too. You can't really fully enjoy the sun without the rain. Like they
True.
both, you know what I mean? Or appreciate the
Yes.
rain without the sun. You have to
Yes.
have the opposite to, I don't know.
You have to have you have to have winter to enjoy summer.
That's right. You have a new appreciation for it. Anyways, yeah.
You have to have the heat of summer to enjoy the coolness of winter.
Cool. We're in North Dakota.
Anyways.
All right.
Today's topic. I'm looking forward to today's topic.
Oh, me too. I've been so excited about this one.
I'm excited because today's topic is, well, the title is What a Day That Will Be. And if you're not familiar with that hymn, it's a hymn by Jim Hill. And it talks about there's coming a day when no heartache shall come, no more clouds in the sky, no more tears to dim the eye. All is peace forevermore on that happy golden shore. What a day, glorious day that will be. There'll be no sorrow there, no more burdens to bear, no more sickness, no pain, no more parting over there. And forever I will be with the one who died for me. What a day, glorious day that will be. What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see, and I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace. When he takes me by the hand and leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. Whew, it's gonna be a good one today. Tearing up at just reading it, but ooh.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about heaven. I had this thought the other day, and we were kind of thinking of like, well, what's our next topic going to be? And I thought, you know what? There are some things I am looking forward to about heaven. Let's talk about that. And you were just, absolutely, let's talk about that. Before we get into it, though, let's go fill up our cups. Okay, Summer. So what filled up your cup this week?
Okay, so mine is, it's warm outside. And so the weather's been nice. And my boys have taken these hammocks that hang from trees, and they've made like a bunk bed essentially out of these, because we only have so many trees to be able to do that with here in North Dakota. But they put them together, and then they staked down a tarp to give them shelter. And I know it's kind of similar to the one that I had for last week, but it really did just fill up my cup to see them out there doing that together. Mm-hmm. And they slept out there for a couple nights. And that's kind of neat. Just boys being boys. They're not in the house watching TV. Yeah. They're not on the Nintendo. Yep. They're out there in nature and together. And they're being boys. Yeah. And I know, like I said, even last week with what they did with the cooking competition thing, this time I see as my kids are getting older, it's becoming more and more apparent to me that their time here in my home is coming to a close. Sure. The time I have left with them here at home is less than what I've already had with them. So to be able to look out at them and enjoy each other's company, and they're friends. They're friends. I have family members, I have family members that have siblings, and they're not friends as adults. Mm-hmm. My prayer is that my kids will be friends as adults. Yeah. That these relationships, and really, I honestly, I give a lot of credit to the fact that the Lord has allowed me to homeschool my kids. It's put them together in the same home, and they've sit at the same table and do their schoolwork. And I think that has bonded them and built that relationship. They've learned to deal with each other through hard times, and, this one getting on this one's nerves, and that's always their siblings. But I feel like there's something different for them in the fact that they've been able to school at home being here. So I'm thankful that the Lord's allowed that, but it's filled up my cup to see them be friends and play together. I don't know. It's been good for me this week.
Yeah, it's encouraging because I know I've talked, my siblings don't live nearby. They live in different states. But, we moved. We're really close in age, each 15 months apart. And so we're really close in age. And when we moved to North Dakota, we were before we made friends, we were public schooled, but before we made a bunch of friends, we were each other's friends. Like, that's who we have to hang out with. And then as we grew older into teens and stuff like that, they do become your friends. And that's not a guarantee that that's going to happen. And even that kind of leads me into my fill up my cup moment for this week is my sister. She's super supportive of the podcast. I even told her, she sent me a Marco Polo. So after last week, or when we had that recording day, that was just full of audio issues and was super long and super discouraging.
Yeah.
You even mentioned it too. And I had the same thought of like, well, maybe we're just done. Maybe we just aren't supposed to be doing it anymore or things like that. That's what goes through my head. That's what went through my head. Well, then she sends me a Marco Polo and, voice message and stuff like that. And then she's like, hey, I just listened to your episode on the love of God. And, I don't know, I should go back and listen to it, but, she was just super encouraging. And she's just like, it's so important that you guys do that. It's so encouraging and stuff like that. And that just started to fill up my cup. Well, then she started talking about what she thought of after she listened to that episode was how God expresses his love to us. And I was just like, if she lived closer, I would ask her to do the podcast with us. Like, she just always brings a different, like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't we think about that when we were recording? She always just brings a different and interesting perspective of like, oh yeah. And I was like, I think we talked about it a little bit, but just some of the things that she said, like she said, sometimes God just expresses himself, his love toward us in such small things, and she just started listing off, and you could tell because she would like end her message. And then like 2 minutes later, she sends me another message and she just picks up right where she left. He expresses his love to us in the rainbow that comes after this rain shower, the thunderstorm. He expresses his love to us in the birds that sing melodies to him in the morning and throughout the day. And then this is such my sister. And like her face changed. Like, here's the good one. He expresses his love to us in that first sip of coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
There's my sister.
Yeah, that's
she loves coffee. And so it was just like all these little things. And it was iron sharpening iron, and it was just filling up my cup of, yes, like not only was I encouraged, and we wouldn't have maybe that conversation had it not been for the podcast.
Sure.
Yeah. Like that kind of prompted that conversation, but it was just, I don't know. It was just, she was encouraging me because that made me sit there and think, yeah, what are some ways that he expresses his love?
Yeah.
That I see in my life that he expresses his love toward us. And it is like a couple of weeks ago, one thing you mentioned in one of our recent episodes that you are thankful for summertime. And one of the things I thought about was I love the canvas that he paints on. That is the sky. Like a summertime sky. A couple of weeks ago, we had a storm during our Wednesday night service, right? So we get there, the song service ends, the preacher gets up, and all of a sudden you start hearing percussion on the roof. And he's like, our pastor was like, I think this is the first time we've sat through like a storm on a Wednesday night. Yep, it was. But the sky after that, though, like when those storm clouds are, going off into the distance and the sun is starting to set, and it puts those pinks and purples, like the rich hues. And there was one sunset this week that was like orange, like it just turns the whole sky, the whole environment, every town, everything just orange, and it's just, I just love that. And it's just like, that's an expression of his love.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I was just very thankful. She filled up my cup and just helped encourage me to think of, she didn't even necessarily say it. Like she wasn't prompting me, but I loved that idea. I was like, man, yeah, what are some ways that God expresses his love? Even today, I was driving out here and today's National Sunflower Day. And there are 2 sunflower fields on the way to your house, one over on the right side and one over on the left. And you come up over the little hill and you just see this golden field. It's beautiful. And they're not quite peaking yet, but they're just about at peaking. And then you get past that a little bit and there's a wheat field.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
And that wheat is
nice gold.
Gold and that's an expression of his love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you received that on the way out to my house today.
It's been a great day. I'm thankful. So, okay, you ready to get into our topic?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. Okay, Summer. So, we're going to be talking about I think when I presented this topic to you, I had actually had the verse in mind, set your affection on things above, not on the things of the earth. And so that just made me, I actually had this thought earlier this week of just like, I need to set my affection on things above. Well, what's above? Heaven, right? Set your affection on things in heaven. And it made me think of also that verse of lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal and all that stuff. So it just made me think, like, what are some things that I'm looking forward to in heaven?
Yeah.
And we will probably say a lot of the same things.
Right.
So
for sure.
I think, but just to get us started, what's one thing that came to your mind this week?
Okay. So for me, 1 Peter 1:4 says, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away. Here's what I want you to hear. Reserved in heaven for you. And so we have a reservation at his table. I thought of the song, and I've been singing it ever since. Come and dine, the master calleth, come and dine. You may feast at Jesus' table all the time. He who fed the multitude turned the water into wine.
To the hungry calleth now, come and dine.
There we go. Okay. So I thought about that and I'm like, man, we have reservations to Jesus's table. And one day we'll get to sit with him.
Yeah.
And we will feast with him eternally.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that so much.
Yeah.
So that was a blessing. That was cool for me to, I don't know, now that song in my head, just been humming it the past couple days.
Well, and that makes me think of, we just sang it the other night, actually. Brethren, we have met to worship. And it says, Christ will gird him. Just to let everybody know, this is probably going to be a very musical. A lot of what came to mind was songs. I have 2 hymnals sitting in front of me because I have multiple songs already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brethren, we have met to worship. Christ shall gird himself and serve us with sweet manna all around.
I know.
Imagine the food in heaven. Like sometimes there are things that I eat.
Mm-hmm.
Cheesecake, for example.
Yum.
Are you going to tell me that that is not a heavenly food?
Right.
That that's not going to be on the table? Lord, please. I don't know if we can like put specifics in here.
Tacos for sure. Tacos and cheesecake.
Absolutely. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to that.
Me too.
The thought too. I had years ago, I was having a conversation with a friend and she was kind of talking about how she was having some struggle with eternal security. And I remembered an illustration that our previous pastor gave. Maybe he gave it, I think, but he talked about how the illustration I had was, there's that verse in John where he promises, let not your heart be troubled. And he talks about, behold, I go and prepare a place for you. And so I remember telling her, like, imagine this, because I always think of like, my imagination goes, like when I hear things, like just imagine this and I'll put it into terms. So imagine that there's a place up there. So you got saved and now it says reserved for Amy, right? And it's a construction site. They're working on the foundation. They got trusses, like they're putting the walls up. And I said, if I could lose my salvation, and she's, oh, by the way, Jesus was a carpenter, right? So imagine that he's building a mansion right up there. I don't even need a mansion over the hilltop. I'll just take a side room. I said, imagine that there's a place up there that says reserved for summer, and they're up there building it, right? And that because you got saved and your name is now written in the book of life. Now, if you could lose your salvation, imagine that they go up there with a big old wrecking ball and crane and just flatten it, right? But then 2 days later, you get right and you get saved again. and now they're going to take that construction and start. It's like, that doesn't make sense. And as soon as I gave her that illustration, she was just like, oh, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So whenever I talk to anybody about eternal security, that's the illustration I give them.
Sure. Yeah.
That don't make sense on why you would build that, but there's promises in his word that he goes to prepare a place for me. That's a good one. What's another one?
And if it were not so, he would have told us.
Right.
So he doesn't lie.
He does not. He cannot lie.
For me, our old life is not remembered. And that's out of Isaiah 65, verse 17.
What's that say?
Talks about, behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. So all the things of now and, the things that bring me guilt or shame or whatever, those are not going to be remembered anymore.
Right.
I'm thankful for that.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Won't be there. I think too with that, the old life is not remembered. Right now, living here, I'm burdened with some of the things of the past, and those don't go away. They still play a part in my mind, and sometimes they play a part in my heart. And so my mind, though, is no longer going to be a problem for me.
Right.
In heaven.
Yeah.
All of that's going to be gone.
And you'll be freed from, that's the thing, is we will be freed from those memories of the old life prior to trusting Christ. Yeah. And we will see ourselves the way that he sees us.
Yes.
I've heard preachers talk about how when God looks at you, he doesn't see all those things.
Right.
He sees, because you're saved, he sees the righteousness of Christ. He sees us in ways that we can't even see ourselves. That's such an interesting thing. Yeah. One of the things that I'm looking forward to in heaven is a glorified body.
Amen.
Like, I don't need a fancy fit body. I just am looking forward to, I think I've mentioned it before. I have mentioned it a couple episodes ago of, weight loss journeys. So that's something I really struggle with. It's hard. And I get tired of just lugging around. Now, I have done it to myself. I'm not blaming anybody else. But I also have, I don't know, there's just different things. God didn't screw up when he made me.
Right.
But I have knocked knees. So it's opposite of being bow-legged. Right. My knees knocked together. Have been since I was little. So I don't know what it's like to have straight legs. And it makes it hard to walk sometimes. And those are just issues that I've been dealing with lately, is I don't walk flat on my feet either. And so that makes it unenjoyable to even just wear shoes or whatever. Right. I don't like the way that I walk. There's so many different things. And I'm just looking forward to a glorified body. And also, I won't have this sinful flesh.
Yeah. Amen.
That battle between the spiritual man and the old man.
Yeah.
Will be gone.
Amen. I'm excited for that.
Every day.
You won't be burdened with that.
I have to battle the person that I see in the mirror. Mm-hmm. Like you said, with our minds, that pinball machine is going to get unplugged. Out of commission.
That's good. Yeah.
I won't have to. Yes, we'll be able to have a clear mind. And we're not going to have to fight against sin, because sin does not exist in heaven. We'll enjoy being around people. I was talking with somebody recently, and they were just, we were talking about how there's no perfect church.
Right. Yeah.
And I said, no, because the moment that I step through the doors, it's imperfect. If I were to go there, I would ruin the perfect church because I'm not perfect. And man, just thinking of, being able to physically, I know that there's so many restrictions that I have. And I'm tired of it, which is why I'm starting a weight loss journey again. But I also have lipedema in my legs. And so they're very heavy sometimes, especially when I'm getting in or out of vehicles. And it's one of those things of, we won't live in a body that's deteriorating.
Right.
Our bodies are just always deteriorating. And our prayer lists are full of health issues.
Yeah.
We've even mentioned recently, people who are battling cancer.
Yes.
Or just different health issues. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to is a glorified body and hanging up the boxing gloves of putting up with the old man and the flesh.
No, that's good.
And fighting against sin.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be so good. It made me think of, like I said, I thought of a lot of songs that came to mind. I also thought of When We See Christ.
Yeah, I've got that on mine, seeing him face to face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got to read because many.
Yeah.
Like, I can't pick out one verse.
No,
the song.
Just read it.
Okay. So When We See Christ, which is written by Esther Kerr Rustle. Oft times the day seems long, our trials hard to bear. We're tempted to complain, to murmur and despair. But Christ will soon appear to catch his bride away. All tears forever over in God's eternal day. Sometimes the sky looks dark with not a ray of light. We're tossed and driven on, no human help in sight. But there is one in heaven who knows our deepest care. Let Jesus solve your problems. Just go to him in prayer. Man, what did this woman live through that she was able to pen these words? You know? And then the music that goes with it, because we're coming up on verse 3. Life's day will soon be over, storms forever past. We'll cross the great divide to glory safe at last. We'll share the joys of heaven, a harp, a home, a crown. The tempter will be banished. We'll lay our burden down. It will be worth it all when we see Jesus. Life's trials will seem so small when we see Christ. One glimpse of his dear face, all sorrow will erase.
Amen.
So bravely run the race till we see Christ. Ooh,
that's good.
What did that woman live through? I mean, talk about soul stirring.
Yeah, no kidding.
When we sing this song, I lose it. On that third verse, the tempter will be banished. I mean, crawl out of my body excitement. The tempter will be banished.
Oh, yeah, I hear the hooting and hollering.
We'll lay our burden down. Mm-hmm. And then there's a part in that chorus that a friend of ours does.
Yes.
It is not the same if she is not in that sanctuary singing that song.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. So she needs to be near me. Yeah. I know you listen to this podcast. You need to sit by me when we're in heaven and we sing this song.
Yes.
Because it ain't the same.
I agree. I do know that when we do sing that song, there has been at least one time for sure that I remember she was not in there.
Yes.
And I'm like, is she in nursery?
It's missing. Like,
somebody needs to go get her. Bring her in here because it's really not the same without her.
No.
Yeah.
But, just so many.
Yeah.
All tears forever over in God's eternal day. It would be worth it all. That's one of those songs that, what a great reminder. Like, it will be worth it all. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're in, like we talked about last week, joy comes in the morning. That's the joy.
Yeah.
That is the joy that comes in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just looking forward. Like you said, seeing him face to face, one glimpse of his dear face, all sorrow will erase.
Yes.
What else did you have on your list?
Mine comes from Isaiah 66:23. This is where I'm at in my daily Bible reading, so that's why it's in here. And Isaiah 66:23 says, "And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord." And this makes me think of, we will get to eternally worship him without distractions.
Yes.
Nothing pulling us away from him. Because right now, that's what we have.
Yes.
A ton of distractions. In heaven, there won't be.
Right.
There's nothing that's going to be pulling us from him. I get discouraged and disappointed by the amount of times I'm distracted and pulled from worshiping him.
Yeah.
In my daily things, not just like separated time.
Yeah.
But worshiping him in just my normal day-to-day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought about even when we do have worship services, just distraction.
Yeah.
Even within that, you're in church. That's what you're there to do. But I don't know. I can see sometimes there's the frailty of man, maybe, of where it's like, can you just send a sweet savor up to, like sometimes I would just wonder, like the Lord might, and I've prayed that. There's been times before where it's just like, Lord, I pray, help us to just fill this building with a sweet savor that comes up to you. Let it just be sweet as it comes up to you this morning. And it does help. Like we were even talking before we hit record on this of song services. And it's just like, man, I'm guilty. I've gone in there and I have the things of the cares of the day, or, okay, after church is done, I got to do this and I'm going to do that. And I need to get with that person and I should check in with them. And, like,
yep.
All those different things, when we finish with Sunday school, like, okay, did that lesson go good? I'm going to be, so I need to get this, just all these different things. And the devil loves that. Our adversary loves that.
Distraction.
Yeah, distraction. And instead, it should just be like, I almost just want to take a moment. Like we should almost just pray before the song service, because I know we usually do like a song or two into it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, can we just take a minute and just like allow our minds to calm and reset? And then we're just going to focus on what we're doing in the moment. Like we've talked about recently, of just being present and being in the moment. And we won't have any of that we have to fight against in heaven. No. And the other thing I thought of is, for 1,000 tongues to sing. The congregation will sing it up there.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have your amen section. You're going to have, I was talking with somebody recently and they talked about, the woman who's doing our adult choir at church. And she said, the first time I heard that 4-part harmony, because she told, like, men, you're doing bass and tenor. You're not singing melody or anything different. You're singing bass and tenor. And then ladies, we're singing alto and soprano. That's a 4-part harmony. And she's like, the first time we got that, it was just like, ooh, can you imagine how it is up in heaven? Like God has gifted some people, and to be up there where we all have glorified bodies, maybe glorified voices. Oh,
yeah, no kidding. It's going to be amazing. The sound of that.
Yes.
I think it's just something we can't even fathom or imagine right now.
No.
Like we can think we know,
right?
But I think he's going to go above and beyond and exceed anything that we could ever think in this flesh.
And there's rejoicing up now.
Yes.
Like there's angels singing up there. Like
holy,
it's not just going to be us that are redeemed.
Right.
But it's going to be angels. It's going to be all of I mean, we've talked about too in our Praise Him episode.
Yes.
How the stones will cry out.
Yeah.
Creation cries out and worships him. And we get to join in that. I get to join in that song. Oh, so good. I can't wait.
I can't either.
And did you have anything else? What's next on your list?
I have a lot. I'm looking at my list right now and I'm like, okay, we're 37 minutes in. Before we put in music and intro and outro. I have such a long list. So there's no way we're going to be able to get through all of these.
Oh no, this is not going to be an exhaustive episode by any means.
So I'm looking at like, which one should I say next? What do you have? I feel like I've given quite a few. What do you have?
I'm okay with this not being an exhaustive episode, because I feel like this was such a good thing for me to just think upon.
Yes.
Over the last couple of days of like, what are some things that I'm thankful for? One thing that I'm in, so we'll probably do repeats.
Yeah.
Or different parts, multiple
I think we
parts
should. Yes.
To this. But one thing I'm thankful one thing I'm looking forward to in heaven, and it comes from, I know I kind of opened the episode with this song, but what a day that will be. And it says, verse 2, I mean, there'll be no sorrow there. No more burdens to bear. How many times? And I almost feel like we talk about it almost every week. The heaviness, the heavy burdens. No more sickness, no more pain. But here's the thing that I'm thankful for. No more parting over there.
Yeah.
Parting is hard.
Yes.
When we've talked about, it's hard to say goodbye to the ones that you love here on earth. Like even just, they come to visit and then they go back home. It's hard to part ways or have to say goodbye to those who, people move or things like that. But when somebody moves from this life to the next, we've talked about, I have friends that have lost, their parents or children. And you just think of the sweet reunions, being reunited and not having to part again. There'll be no parting over there. And just thinking of those, even just thinking of those who will be reunited.
That will be so exciting.
Yes. And they'll be reunited with their loved ones, reunited with parents, reunited with siblings, reunited with children, sons and daughters. And yeah.
That's exciting. I love that we can look forward to that, because even when we do lose someone here and there is sorrow, if they're saved, we know that we are going to see them again. And so we don't have to be. I think about my grandmother. When she does pass, she's been a huge part of my life. She's been a constant in my life. And when she passes, she's even told me, like, I don't want y'all to be sad for me. Like, y'all, I know where I'm going, and I'm going to be happy and rejoicing, and I'll be waiting for you at the gate. And so we've talked about this multiple times. And I know that when she passes, I will miss her presence here, but I'm going to be rejoicing with her because I know where she's going to. And so she won't be in sorrow. She won't be in pain. She's going to be worshiping her Savior and saying, holy, holy, holy. And I'm happy for that for her. And so that is a good promise that we can be thankful for now too.
Absolutely. And it completely changes your approach. I mean, you still deal with
loss,
the process of grieving.
Oh, yeah.
And the stages of grief.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're human. But there is that added comfort of knowing. And there's also that promise too. Like some people, I've lost family members, and I know I have friends and family that are saved, and they're just like, I don't know. I don't know if this person that I lost, but I do know there's verses that say, that he desires all men to be saved.
Yeah.
He desires them to be saved more than we do. He doesn't want anybody. He desires not for anybody to go to hell.
Right.
He died for them, and and salvation can be so simple. So I usually just try to keep that in mind of, as far as like, we don't know.
Right.
We don't know. And Lord willing, it'll be a sweet reunion up in heaven. But yeah, what a promise. Like, it makes such a big difference. Yeah. What else did you have on your list?
Well, you talked about that, and that was on my list. And I have Revelation 21:4 that says, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
When it talks about no more crying, like, he'll wipe away every tear. I'm looking forward to that. It's hard because, and I even think about the episode that we talked about last week. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning.
That's right.
And like we said, that's the joy that comes.
Yes, that's
Heaven.
Exactly right.
Heaven is the joy that comes.
This will be my end, is what I have beside that in my Bible. My end will look like this. I hope that's everyone else's end too.
Absolutely.
But like you said, even more so, God wants that even more than we do for others.
Yeah. And I just love that in that song, What a Day Will It Be, when it says, he'll take me by the hand and lead me through the promised land.
Ooh, to hold his hand.
That nail-scarred hand. But he's our Heavenly Father, and I just think of, like, how little kids will just grab onto, like, the pinky?
Yes.
I don't know. There's just something so sweet. Like, just, I don't know, something such a simple but sweet thought of him holding that hand out. Come on, Amy, welcome. Like I saw something this week, and I thought maybe it might even be another topic that we talk about, but I thought it was interesting. It said, welcome home, thou good and faithful. And it had like employee, and it was crossed out, athlete, and it was crossed out. All it had just these different things. And then all these, but they were all crossed out, and it said servant at the bottom. And I was just like, that's good. Like that's the point, is to just serve him. And man, I want to serve him well so that when I do get up there, he's happy to see me. I would love for him. I think I talked about it before too. Yeah, she didn't love Jesus as well as she should have. Amy didn't.
Summer too.
She sure had a hard time ever getting over how much he loved her.
And
that's absolutely true.
Like still working on that one. Yeah,
I don't know if I'll ever get over it, but it sure was good for me this week to think about the things of heaven. And I have more things on my list as well, but I think we'll swing over into our gratitude moment, and then we'll save the rest for later, just because it's kind of one of those tools. I feel like it's a tool or a weapon against our adversary and against discouragement, is to just think about heaven. Think about him holding his hand out to lead you into the promised land. Think about that no more sorrow, not having to bear those burdens anymore. Because it'll be worth it all when we see Christ. So with that, we're going to swing into our gratitude segment. Okay, Summer. So what is your gratitude moment for this week?
Mine is, I'm grateful and just want to say thank you to the Lord, because after this topic, we only get to talk about this topic because we know where we're going. And it's because he willingly went to the cross for you and for me and for everybody that's listening. And without that, we wouldn't have any point in talking about this topic. And it did bring me so much excitement this week. So thank you for thinking of this and wanting to do this as a topic, because like you said, it's a tool. And I was super excited about this topic today. And a part of me thought we should do this one first because I was just so excited. But I'm glad we saved it for the last. I feel like there's a reason to the order in which God gives us these topics to talk about. And so I'm really looking forward to it coming out. And I'm already looking forward for us to do it again, because I think that the list that I currently have is going to continue to grow throughout, until we do the next one. But I am thankful that we have an opportunity to look forward to what a day that will be. I'm thankful for salvation. And that I have hope here in this place.
Yes.
I have a hope of a future.
Yeah.
That's eternal.
That we don't have to go through life without that hope. We have a life and things to look forward to, even beyond. And there's a certain amount of, I was actually thinking about it this week, like, as I was thinking about it, it's kind of weird. Like, just because it's unknown, there's a certain amount of almost fear, for lack of better words, of, well, what is that actually going to be like? Because I don't know. I know life here on earth.
Yeah.
But what is that actually going to be like? Like, what's that actually going to be like in heaven? 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years from now, like, it's kind of a weird thought.
It is.
But we have that to look forward to. And we have we have his word full of promises about it and tells us about it. There's streets of gold up there, Man, we didn't even touch on that.
Don't start telling. No. We got to save it for next time. Don't start.
But, the streets of gold up here, he'll be there. There's just so many good things to look forward to. And it is one of those things that can get you through this life. And to not have that is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really challenging. I'm thankful. What about you? What's your gratitude moment for this week?
So my gratitude moment is kind of along those lines. It might sound weird, but I'm grateful for gratitude.
That doesn't sound weird at all.
Just because, like, kind of like thinking about these things, what things are you looking forward to in heaven? Gratitude can be like that. It can be a tool. That was a tool this week. Setting your affection on things above and just thinking about those heavenly things was a tool, and just helped me think about that. But gratitude can be that way. So, like this week when we were praying over one of our meals, I just found myself thanking the Lord for like, well, thank you for jobs to go to. Thank you for the ability to do my job. Thank you for the ability to come home. Thank you for the ability to cook and a kitchen to cook in and chairs to sit on while we eat, plates and utensils to use and a dishwasher to put those things into, like just some of these things that there's so many things that I just take for granted, even just sitting in this room. Thank you, Lord, for, a comfortable chair that has padding that I can sit on and a table to sit at and microphones to like the equipment that we have and blankets to keep us warm and blankets to hang on the walls. And there's just so many things. A car to drive over here, money to put gas in my gas tank. Yeah. I was watching a show this week and it said one of the male characters on there was like, that's like fill my gas tank all the way up kind of rich. And I was just like, what a thought. Funny.
I remember that back whenever I was a teenager and I was driving my car, a lot of times I couldn't afford to like fill up the tank all the way. So it's like $2. Put $2 in, $5 in, because that's all you had.
Yeah. And it's one of those things of like, I don't even think about that. Like you just go until it clicks, right?
Yes. Till it's done.
What a blessing.
That is a blessing.
What a blessing to have a bank account that has more than 3 digits in it,
right?
1.00. 2 digits are guaranteed if you have $1.
Oh, funny.
Like just, I don't know, just there's so many little things.
Yeah.
That if I take the time, and just this week, I just found myself somewhat being conscious and like determining to be thankful for those little things.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you just kind of find it flowing out.
Yeah.
In my prayers, it was just, thank you for this. Thank you for that. Like, so I was just really thankful for gratitude.
No, that's really good.
For the ability to express it.
Yes. Yeah. That's good.
Thankful for that. Okay. Well, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe and share with others. Join us over on Instagram at
Strength and Sisterhood Pod.
And leave us a comment if you liked this episode. You can also reach us at
strengthandsisterhoodpod@gmail.com.
Or find us on Spotify, Amazon, Substack, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. We would love to hear from you. So until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.
See ya.